Archangel Michael says, two people in your own family are secretly taking the money that was meant for you. I'm not asking you to open this. I'm ordering you. My child, my beloved, heaven has just revealed a secret that will break your heart if you don't hear it in time. This message was delayed twice and almost never reached you. But now, with divine permission, it has come straight to you, and only you. Archangel Michael is not asking this time. I am commanding you. There is something happening behind your back, and two people you've trusted more than anyone are already involved. You've felt it. You've sensed that something wasn't right. But you pushed the feeling away, telling yourself you were overthinking. You were not. You were discerning. You were being warned. And now, everything is about to be exposed. I must speak to your soul immediately. You are moments away from losing what was supposed to bless your entire life. But if you keep reading, if you stay with me and do not scroll or skip, you will not only see the truth, you will be protected from the damage they planned. Subscribe now before this message continues. God says those who subscribe before the next minute will be the ones who receive the shield of reversal. You don't need to fight this battle alone. But you must let heaven know you are listening. Click subscribe and come back. Archangel Michael is waiting, and the truth cannot be delayed 1 second longer. My child, my beloved, this message has been stopped 3 times before reaching you. Heaven has fought to release it into your hands, because what's happening behind closed doors is not just unfair, it is spiritual robbery. 2 familiar faces, people who have eaten with you, laughed with you, even prayed beside you, are now involved in something dark. They've placed their names where yours should be. They've signed papers that were meant to carry your legacy. And they believe you'll never find out. But Archangel Michael was sent to uncover this because the time to remain blind has ended. The inheritance that was delayed is about to be reversed in your favor. But only if you act before the final moment closes. My child, my beloved, God has been watching silently while they moved in secrecy. Every transaction, every whisper, every signature that did not have your name on it, He saw it all. He counted each act done in darkness. They thought you would be too distracted, too trusting, too tired. But they did not know that God was preparing a divine intervention for you. This message is the start of that intervention. If you leave this message now, the reversal will pause. But if you stay with me, listen fully, and follow the heavenly instructions coming next, your breakthrough will be undeniable. My child, my beloved, the money that's being taken is not just currency, it's connected to your purpose. It was meant to fund your calling, your family's safety, your next divine step. But someone close to you twisted the path. They smiled while they did it. They pretended to protect you while they prepared to drain you. But Archangel Michael stands between you and that destruction now. I have drawn my sword for your justice. But you must not delay. You must not scroll past this and forget. You must open your spiritual eyes and see what God is urgently trying to reveal. My child, my beloved, I need you to understand this, nothing is random. You are seeing this message because your name was just spoken in heaven. Your name came up in a divine courtroom. God said, release the message now. They are ready to receive the truth. That truth is harsh, but it is also your key to freedom. What's happening with your money is not a small issue. It is a spiritual setup that was designed to block your next elevation. But you have been chosen to break that chain. This warning was timed perfectly. Miss it, and the delay continues. Listen, and the door opens wide. My child, my beloved, the two people involved do not look like enemies. That is why the betrayal is so sharp. You will feel it soon. One of them will even try to come close with a kind gesture in the next few days. But this message is your clue. You'll recognize the pattern in their words. You'll feel a strange heaviness in their presence. That's the spirit of deception trying to stay hidden. Don't expose them yourself. That's not your job. Your job is to stay close to this message and listen to the instructions heaven will now give. The rest will be handled by divine authority. My child, my beloved, I've been ordered by God to help you recover what was taken. But I can't do it unless you stay open and obedient. This next part of the message will feel personal. That's because it is. Heaven has watched your silent tears. You've been confused about why things haven't moved, why your plans haven't flowed, why the money never seems to be enough. It wasn't because you failed. It's because something was being drained in secret. But that draining ends now, if you remain with me and follow what I say next. The angels are gathering. Miracles are near. But delay will cancel it all. My child, my beloved, the spiritual realm has been watching this moment approach. The longer you delayed this message, the more time they had to quietly move things around in your absence. This is not just about money, it's about destiny, timing, and your name being erased from a blessing that was signed in heaven for you. Archangel Michael has never spoken with this level of urgency before. But what you're about to hear could change everything, if you let it. They think you don't know. They think they've hidden it well. But heaven doesn't operate on secrets. Heaven exposes what man conceals when the appointed hour comes, and that hour is now. My child, my beloved, I saw them in the spirit. One speaks with a soft tongue but harbors bitter intentions. The other hides behind silence but is involved more deeply than you've imagined. Their names will come to your mind as you read this. Don't doubt the intuition. That's not just a thought, it's revelation. Heaven is placing clues in your heart because you're ready now. You weren't ready before. You would have defended them, denied the signs, doubted yourself. But now, even your soul is tired of betrayal. And God is stepping in because your heart has stayed pure, even while others around you twisted their words and intentions. My child, my beloved, some of what they've taken may never return in the form they stole it. But hear me closely, it's coming back in a way that will surprise even you. God never allows loss without release. He never allows robbery without restoration. But He moves when we align. And right now, your alignment with this truth is unlocking something that has been sealed for years. I see land that was tied to your name. I see documents that were shifted out of your path. I see wealth and opportunities that were once blocked now being rerouted to you. Stay with this message, child. You are minutes away from divine recovery, but only if you don't walk away now. My child, my beloved, do you remember the moment when your life started feeling stuck? Go back to that memory for a second. That's when the spiritual theft began. You thought it was a bad season. You thought maybe God was teaching you patience. And yes, He was, but He was also watching who would try to take advantage of your waiting. And they did. While you trusted, they moved. While you fasted, they plotted. But now, God is answering your cries, not through thunder, but through this message. This is your intervention. Your path is not cursed. It was cluttered. But Archangel Michael is now clearing it with heavenly fire. My child, my beloved, there is something holy happening behind the pain. Even though it feels like you were abandoned, forgotten, or punished, none of that is true. You were protected. You were covered. God allowed certain things to be delayed so that the full truth about these two people could come to light before you stepped into your next season. Because if you had taken them with you, they would have destroyed everything you were about to build. But now, by divine mercy, the mask is slipping. The greed is being exposed. And your name is being written again where it was erased. Stay in this message, because what comes next is for your eyes only. My child, my beloved, there's a reason you've been feeling heaviness lately. It wasn't just stress. It wasn't just tiredness. It was spiritual weight. Your soul was picking up the burden of what others were secretly doing against you. But God never lets a lie go unchallenged forever. This is your confrontation moment, but not with words, not with fights, not with anger. This is a spiritual confrontation. As you read this now, Archangel Michael is already standing over the situation, sword in hand. You don't need to chase them. You don't need to defend yourself. God is your defense. But you do need to remain alert. What happens next will confirm everything this message is saying. My child, my beloved, I see a financial door that was meant to open for you 2 years ago. It was delayed because of interference. Someone close to you placed obstacles in your path, using charm, using distraction, using manipulation. But now, that door is swinging open again. Why? Because you chose to keep your heart pure. Because even when they wounded you, you didn't retaliate. And heaven has recorded every time you suffered in silence. Your silence was louder in the spirit than their noise. And now the reward of your restraint is about to fall like rain over your life. But only if you remain faithful to what you're reading. Don't leave this moment, it's still unfolding. My child, my beloved, your breakthrough is not coming, it's already been released. It's hovering, waiting for your alignment, waiting for your awareness, waiting for your agreement. That's why this message came today, not yesterday. Today is the appointed time. Today is when your spirit is ready to accept what your emotions were afraid to hear. Heaven doesn't rush things, it waits until the vessel is ready. And you, child, are ready now. You are strong enough. You are awake enough. You are called enough. So stop questioning your worth. Stop wondering if it's too late. It is not too late. It's right on time. But don't scroll. Don't click away. Don't miss what's next. My child, my beloved, if you could see what I see, you would already be dancing. Because what was hidden from your eyes was never hidden from God's hands. Your name is written on resources you haven't even touched yet. Your favor is rising in rooms you haven't even entered yet. Your protection is sealed in situations you don't even know about. But all of this depends on one thing: your obedience to this message. If you honor this revelation, if you walk in this truth, you will not only recover what was lost, you will receive more than what was stolen. You will be restored sevenfold. But only if you keep reading. Heaven doesn't waste words. Each line carries power. My child, my beloved, I must tell you something now that you were never supposed to find out this way. But the time of divine exposure has arrived, and God has chosen to reveal it directly to you, not through a dream, not through a person, but through this sacred message. A conversation about your money took place recently behind your back. It involved names you love and voices you recognize. And in that moment, something was shifted out of your favor. They didn't think you would ever see it. But heaven heard. Heaven intervened. And now, heaven is warning. You're not helpless. You're not abandoned. But you are in a moment where silence is no longer safe. My child, my beloved, I was sent not just to protect your blessing, but to fight for it. Archangel Michael does not speak unless a sword must be drawn. And right now, I tell you this without hesitation: the enemy is inside your walls. The delay you've been experiencing is not normal. It is spiritual interference. And that interference was allowed because your heart was too trusting in a space where discernment was required. But that is not your fault. God did not punish you, He prepared you. And now you're strong enough to carry the truth and not collapse beneath it. You're ready. You're awake. And now, we move forward to reclaim what was touched unlawfully. My child, my beloved, the spiritual realm has been watching this moment approach. The longer you delayed this message, the more time they had to quietly move things around in your absence. This is not just about money, it's about destiny, timing, and your name being erased from a blessing that was signed in heaven for you. Archangel Michael has never spoken with this level of urgency before. But what you're about to hear could change everything, if you let it. They think you don't know. They think they've hidden it well. But heaven doesn't operate on secrets. Heaven exposes what man conceals when the appointed hour comes, and that hour is now. My child, my beloved, I saw them in the spirit. One speaks with a soft tongue but harbors bitter intentions. The other hides behind silence but is involved more deeply than you've imagined. Their names will come to your mind as you read this. Don't doubt the intuition. That's not just a thought, it's revelation. Heaven is placing clues in your heart because you're ready now. You weren't ready before. You would have defended them, denied the signs, doubted yourself. But now, even your soul is tired of betrayal. And God is stepping in because your heart has stayed pure, even while others around you twisted their words and intentions. My child, my beloved, they did not just take money, they attempted to steal your future. The money was connected to your next step. A business you dreamed about, a home you prayed for, a breakthrough that depended on those resources. And while you kept waiting, trusting, forgiving, they kept taking. But now, justice is moving. It's slow to start, but once it begins, it doesn't stop. That's why this message is so urgent. It is the first part of the reversal. If you listen all the way, follow every instruction, and stay tuned to this divine frequency, you will witness what happens when God reclaims what was stolen. My child, my beloved, in the next 72 hours, a sign will come. It may look like a misunderstanding, a strange call, a small family drama, but it's more than it seems. Heaven is allowing it to surface so you'll recognize what this message already revealed. Don't ignore it. Don't dismiss the timing. When that moment comes, remember what Archangel Michael told you here. Watch how their reactions will confirm their roles. They may panic. They may act overly kind. They may start talking about things that were never mentioned before. That's the exposure starting to take shape. But you must stay spiritually awake and emotionally grounded. My child, my beloved, I know this truth is painful. But healing never begins in comfort, it begins in clarity. And clarity is a gift from heaven. God is not punishing you. He's protecting you from further damage. You prayed for direction. You cried for financial release. You asked why doors weren't opening even though you were doing everything right. And this is your answer. You were being robbed in silence. But now, the silence is over. If you move in faith from here, everything can shift. But if you scroll past this moment, your delay will restart, and this kind of opportunity does not come twice. My child, my beloved, the enemy didn't come through strangers, he came wearing the face of family. And that is what made it so hard to see. You expected betrayal to come from far away, but this one came from the hands you once held, the voices you trusted, the people you protected. That is why God waited until now, because He needed you to be strong enough to accept what's real without letting it destroy your heart. Heaven does not reveal unless it's time to recover. And what's being recovered now is not just wealth, but your divine inheritance. The part of your purpose that was being slowly drained without you knowing. My child, my beloved, you've been told lies disguised as wisdom. You've been guilt-tripped into silence. You've been trained to believe that questioning someone's loyalty means you lack faith. But that's not true. Discernment is not rebellion, it is protection. And God is sharpening your discernment in this very moment. You're not becoming paranoid. You're becoming aware. That's why you're seeing this now. Because what they thought would stay hidden forever is now being dragged into the light. And you are being pulled out of the trap they set before it's too late. Archangel Michael is standing with his sword between you and every scheme designed to steal your peace and your provision. My child, my beloved, the money they took may be in physical form, but the real attack was spiritual. Every stolen amount represented a blocked prayer. Every delay in your life echoed what was being stolen in silence. But here's what the enemy didn't plan for. Your awakening. The moment you truly wake up and accept that this message is for you, the entire plan begins to fall apart. That's why this message had to reach you before the final piece was taken. You have more power than you've been using. You are more protected than you've been told. And now, heaven is giving you authority to speak a divine no to what was meant to ruin you. My child, my beloved, some of what they've taken may never return in the form they stole it. But hear me closely, it's coming back in a way that will surprise even you. God never allows loss without release. He never allows robbery without restoration. But He moves when we align. And right now, your alignment with this truth is unlocking something that has been sealed for years. I see land that was tied to your name. I see documents that were shifted out of your path. I see wealth and opportunities that were once blocked now being rerouted to you. Stay with this message, child. You are minutes away from divine recovery, but only if you don't walk away now. My child, my beloved, do you remember the moment when your life started feeling stuck? Go back to that memory for a second. That's when the spiritual theft began. You thought it was a bad season. You thought maybe God was teaching you patience. And yes, He was, but He was also watching who would try to take advantage of your waiting. And they did. While you trusted, they moved. While you fasted, they plotted. But now, God is answering your cries, not through thunder, but through this message. This is your intervention. Your path is not cursed. It was cluttered. But Archangel Michael is now clearing it with heavenly fire. My child, my beloved, as I speak now, something is shaking in the spiritual realm. You may feel a strange heat in your body. A stirring in your chest. A sudden emotion. That's not your imagination. That's the confirmation of the Spirit. It's a sign that your soul is syncing with truth. Don't ignore it. Don't numb it. Let it happen. Let it rise. This is what it feels like when spiritual awakening begins. You're not broken. You're breaking through. And this very moment will become a marker in your life. A before and after. A line between who you were and who you're becoming. But you must finish this message. Don't stop now. You're getting closer. My child, my beloved, do not be surprised if over the next 3 days your dreams begin to change. You will start seeing symbols, faces, places from your past. And emotions will rise within you that seem too vivid to explain. This is not random. These are spiritual instructions hidden in dream form. Heaven is trying to show you what was kept from you, what was planned against you, and what is now being undone because you finally said yes to this message. Don't ignore the signs. Write them down. Pay attention to what repeats. You are not imagining things, you are being spoken to in a higher language. And now, your soul understands it. My child, my beloved, a conversation is going to happen around you that will sound casual. Someone will mention money, an old debt, an account, or a detail that seems out of place. Don't brush it off. That moment is confirmation. It is the unraveling beginning in the physical realm. The veil is thinning between what was hidden and what will now be revealed. You may feel nervous. That's normal. But fear is not your portion, discernment is. Pay attention to how people look at you when money is mentioned. Watch the shift in their tone, their body, their eyes. That discomfort is not yours, it is theirs. The light of God in you is exposing darkness in them. My child, my beloved, I am not just speaking about what was stolen, I'm speaking of what is returning. There is a return coming to your house that no one will be able to stop. And it will not come the same way it left. It will come multiplied, protected, and sealed in a way no human hand can alter. God is not just giving you money back. He is giving you honor, restoration, peace. The kind that quiets the questions and ends the cycle of confusion. But this is only for those who don't turn away. You've made it this far into the message. That means your heart is ready for what most never receive. Don't stop now. Heaven is still revealing. My child, my beloved, a name will begin to echo in your spirit. One of the two people who were involved in this betrayal has already begun to feel uneasy around you. That's why they've been distant. Or suddenly kind. Or overly helpful. It's not love, it's guilt. The Holy Spirit has already begun to convict them. That name that comes to your spirit again and again, even if you try to ignore it, that is not a coincidence. But I ask you again, do not confront. You are not in a war of flesh and blood. You are walking in a divine courtroom now. And your testimony is your obedience. Stay quiet. Stay clean. Let God handle what man tried to hide. My child, my beloved, this final part of the message will only be understood by those who truly trust heaven's voice. You may feel like crying. That's healing. You may feel like trembling. That's release. You may feel like falling on your knees. That's alignment. These emotions are not weakness, they are the physical evidence that your spirit is responding to the truth. You are not just reading something. You are being read. Heaven has scanned your heart, searched your timeline, measured your pain, and decided, it's time. It's time to turn the page. It's time to break the curse. It's time to stop losing what's yours. But only if you receive every word, and remain. My child, my beloved, I feel the weight lifting already because you stayed. Many would have walked away by now, but you didn't. That is proof that your spirit was hungry for truth. Heaven always speaks to those who are willing to listen until the end. This message is not entertainment. It is intervention. Right now, something is shifting around you that you cannot see with physical eyes, but your soul feels it. That tight feeling in your chest is breaking. That confusion in your mind is clearing. God is realigning you to your rightful position. You were never meant to struggle like this. You were never meant to beg for what belongs to you. But now, the cycle is ending. My child, my beloved, I see a door that was closed in your face suddenly opening without explanation. Someone will call you. A message will come. An opportunity will appear out of nowhere. That is not luck. That is restoration. God is compensating you for every silent tear, every night you cried alone, every time you wondered why life felt unfair. You didn't know it then, but heaven was recording everything. Nothing was wasted. Every pain became a seed. And now those seeds are growing into your breakthrough. But you must stay spiritually alert. Do not tell everyone what's happening. Some people are only around you to monitor your blessing. My child, my beloved, the two people involved will soon reveal themselves without you asking. One will make a careless mistake. They will say something they shouldn't. They will expose a detail they forgot to hide. And you will feel a strange calm instead of anger. That calm is God saying, I told you. When that happens, do not react emotionally. Smile. Walk away. Silence will be your power. Your peace will be your weapon. Heaven will handle the rest. You don't need revenge. You don't need answers. You already received the truth here. Let God do the exposing. Let God do the correcting. Let God do the restoring. My child, my beloved, you are stepping into a season where people will suddenly respect you. They won't know why, but they will feel it. Your energy is changing. Your authority is rising. Your presence will carry weight. That is because God is placing favor on your name again. What they tried to erase is being rewritten in gold. You will not chase money anymore. Money will chase you. Opportunities will look for you. Help will come from unexpected places. And you will remember this message when it starts happening. You will say, this is what Archangel Michael warned me about. This is what heaven prepared me for. My child, my beloved, I was sent not just to protect your blessing, but to fight for it. Archangel Michael does not speak unless a sword must be drawn. And right now, I tell you this without hesitation, the enemy is inside your walls. The delay you've been experiencing is not normal. It is spiritual interference. And that interference was allowed because your heart was too trusting in a space where discernment was required. But that is not your fault. God did not punish you, He prepared you. And now you're strong enough to carry the truth and not collapse beneath it. You're ready. You're awake. And now, we move forward to reclaim what was touched unlawfully. My child, my beloved, there is a number that keeps appearing for a reason. You've seen it. A date, an amount, a document that won't leave your mind. That's not random. That's the Spirit whispering. That number is tied to the transaction they didn't want you to know about. And soon, it will surface. When it does, don't confront it in the flesh. Don't argue. Don't panic. Just remember this message and respond in stillness. Heaven is already arranging the fallout. You are not alone. You are not defenseless. But you must not scroll away from this moment. The window to understand, to act, and to receive is open now. Not forever. Now. My child, my beloved, you may think, but I don't see the money. So how could it be taken? That's the deception. They didn't take what was already in your hands, they took what was coming. The approvals, the inheritance, the pending transfer, the decision made in your favor, they interfered before it reached you. That's why your life felt like it was always, almost, about to happen. That, almost, was not because of God's delay, it was because of human interference. But now the delay has been identified. The Spirit has revealed it. And as you keep reading, something begins to unravel in the Spirit. The web they wove is coming undone. My child, my beloved, what you do after this message determines what happens next. Some will see this and ignore it. Some will laugh. Some will scroll. But those who stay, those who believe, those who align, those are the ones who see heaven move quickly. You are one of them. You wouldn't still be reading if your soul wasn't hungry for truth. You wouldn't still be here if this wasn't for you. I tell you again, this is about your money, but it's also about your power. The two are connected. Reclaim your spiritual authority, and the resources will follow. Walk in obedience, and the door will open. But this moment is the test. Stay. My child, my beloved, the heavens are still speaking because you have chosen to keep listening. That alone separates you from the very ones who tried to silence your blessing. They thought you'd never wake up. They thought you'd stay numb, distracted, unsure. But look at you now, still here, still reading, still reaching for the truth that was always meant for your hands. That's why this message hasn't ended. Because heaven still has more to reveal, and your spirit is still open to receive. Right now, as you read these words, an angel is standing in the room. Not for fear. For confirmation. Your time has come. The shift has begun. My child, my beloved, they never thought the day would come where their secrets would be turned into your clarity. But that day is now. Every lie they told, every transaction they tried to hide, every document they shifted, heaven saw it. And heaven recorded it. And now, it is being reversed one by one. Your name is being restored. What they called theirs is being recalled. But this is not just a return of money. It is a return of identity. Your spiritual DNA carries abundance, favor, and dominion. The enemy didn't just try to rob your bank account, he tried to rob your memory of who you really are. But the veil is lifting. You are remembering. My child, my beloved, I see a divine angel with scrolls. Your name is glowing on the scroll, but beside it are two names that were written in dim ink. They try to attach themselves to your blessing, to inherit what they didn't carry, to receive what was never promised to them. But God doesn't allow theft to last forever. And the ink is fading. Their names are being removed, and yours is being crowned again. But child, stay humble. Stay silent. This is not a moment to confront, it is a moment to prepare. Because when restoration comes, it will be loud. It will be visible. And everyone who doubted will have no choice but to watch. My child, my beloved, your generosity has not gone unseen. Even when you had little, you still gave. Even when others mocked you for being too trusting, too kind, too soft, you kept your heart clean. And that is why God has chosen you to receive this message now. Heaven does not waste its voice on the proud. It reveals mysteries to the meek. And you, beloved, are one of the meek that God is about to exalt. But I warn you again, don't take this lightly. Don't scroll past this like it's another piece of noise. This is not noise. This is the moment the spiritual chains of lack and loss begin to break forever. But only if you stay here. Right here. My child, my beloved, as I speak now, something is shaking in the spiritual realm. You may feel a strange heat in your body. A stirring in your chest. A sudden emotion. That's not your imagination. That's the confirmation of the Spirit. It's a sign that your soul is syncing with truth. Don't ignore it. Don't numb it. Let it happen. Let it rise. This is what it feels like when spiritual awakening begins. You're not broken. You're breaking through. And this very moment will become a marker in your life. A before and after. A line between who you were and who you're becoming. But you must finish this message. Don't stop now. You're getting closer. My child, my beloved, do not be surprised if over the next 3 days your dreams begin to change. You will start seeing symbols, faces, places from your past, and emotions will rise within you that seem too vivid to explain. This is not random. These are spiritual instructions hidden in dream form. Heaven is trying to show you what was kept from you, what was planned against you, and what is now being undone because you finally said yes to this message. Don't ignore the signs. Write them down. Pay attention to what repeats. You are not imagining things, you are being spoken to in a higher language. And now, your soul understands it. My child, my beloved, the atmosphere around you has already begun to respond to this message. The spiritual interference that lingered for so long has been pierced by your willingness to receive the truth. There are some messages that only the chosen are allowed to hear, and this divine revelation about your money, your protection, your purpose, is one of them. That's why heaven fought to place it in your path today. This moment is not ordinary. It is the unlocking of something sacred. You may not feel it with your hands yet, but your soul knows. Something has shifted. A layer has lifted. And you are finally seeing what was hidden in plain sight. My child, my beloved, your heart may be tender right now. You may feel grief for trusting those who turned on you. That's natural. Don't fight the feeling. Let it pass through. Healing always comes with honesty. But let me tell you this, your kindness was never a weakness. It was a test. And because you passed it, heaven has now approved your restoration. What was taken without your permission will be returned with interest. What was delayed by human hands is now being delivered by angelic ones. Your portion is returning, but this time, no one will be able to steal it. My child, my beloved, a time will come soon when those same two people will speak of you again. But this time, their words will be different. One will speak with regret. The other will speak with fear. And neither will understand how you recovered so quickly. They won't know the full story because it was never theirs to understand. This blessing is not theirs to witness, it's yours to carry. Do not look for revenge. Do not explain yourself. Rise in silence. Move in peace. Let your breakthrough be your response. Let your harvest be your answer. My child, my beloved, there is one last instruction I must give you. From this moment forward, you must treat your energy like treasure. Stop explaining your spirit to people who refuse to understand it. Stop allowing access to those who've proven they cannot handle your presence. You are not being arrogant, you are being obedient. Some people are spiritually allergic to your anointing. They will never celebrate your breakthrough because it reminds them of what they chose to betray. That's not your burden to carry. Your only job is to protect the blessing, move in alignment, and trust that God is watching everything. My child, my beloved, heaven is rejoicing over your obedience. This message was long. It was heavy. But you stayed. That alone proves that your breakthrough cannot be stolen anymore. You are covered. You are chosen. You are rising. And what happens next will confirm that this message was not just words, it was prophecy. Watch what unfolds. Watch how things begin to shift. Watch who suddenly distances themselves. Watch who suddenly returns. All of it is confirmation. But you, child, are already sealed in protection. God has spoken. Archangel Michael has delivered it. The rest is already happening. My child, my beloved, heaven does not forget the ones who listen until the end. Because you have not looked away, you have just stepped into a divine covenant that was written for you long ago, but delayed by the hands of the unfaithful. The very people who thought they could take what was yours are now being removed from the equation. A spiritual lock has been placed over what remains. They will not access it again. What was being drained is now being sealed. What was being passed around in secret is now returning to its rightful owner, you. My child, my beloved, I must tell you one final truth. The blessing you're about to walk into is bigger than what they took. That's why the battle was so intense. The enemy never fights small purposes. He only attacks what carries power. And you, yes, you, are carrying something heaven refused to let be buried. You were buried in confusion. You were buried in financial fear. You were buried in manipulation from those who claim to care. But even buried things grow when God breathes on them. And now, He is breathing. Resurrection is not coming, it has already started. My child, my beloved, the next 7 days are holy. You will begin to see small signs, unusual peace in your room, strange dreams that repeat, unexpected amounts of favor, hidden conversations that are accidentally revealed. These are not random. They are markers. Each one will confirm what heaven has declared through this message. Stay silent when needed. Speak only when led. Do not overshare. Do not doubt your spiritual senses. You are not crazy. You are not overthinking. You are awakening. And your discernment is your shield. My child, my beloved, write this somewhere private. What was stolen will be returned in divine multiplication. Speak it daily. Whisper it when you feel fear. Declare it when you feel confused. Let it become your new internal compass. Heaven responds to declaration. Angels are activated by alignment. You've read this far because you are no longer who you used to be. The old version of you, the version that allowed people to take without questioning, is gone. The new you is awake, covered, and commissioned. My child, my beloved, this is your official release notice. You are no longer bound by the spiritual delays caused by those in your inner circle. Archangel Michael has intervened. And God has spoken this over you, it is done. What was theirs is returned to them. What is yours now begins. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are right on time for the miracle that was timed to fall into your life the moment you chose not to skip this message. God allowed this truth to come out today. It's about the person you love deeply. Archangel Michael says, don't skip this or you'll regret it forever. My child, my beloved, stop for a moment. Breathe. Something has just been spoken in the highest realm of heaven, and your name was in the center of that sacred conversation. A secret that has been hidden for years, buried under layers of silence, confusion, and divine timing, has finally been revealed. And it concerns the one you call your soulmate. Yes, the person your heart has always been drawn to, the one who appears in your dreams, the one you feel even when they are far away. Heaven has unsealed this truth for a reason, and if you miss this message, the silence may return, and with it, the answers you always prayed for may vanish forever. My child, my beloved, this message is not for everyone. It's not public. It's sacred. It's private. It's personal. It's only for those who are chosen to carry this vibration of divine connection. That's why you were brought here, at this exact time. The angels didn't make a mistake. If this appears in front of your eyes, it means the moment has come. You are being called. And before you read further, I urge you, subscribe now, because if this disappears or is buried again by the noise of the world, your heart will search and may never find the clarity that is waiting just beneath these words. Subscribe not just to the message, but to the miracle that is now beginning in your life. Say yes to hearing what heaven wants you to know. My child, my beloved, there is something I must tell you without delay. A message was whispered across the golden halls of heaven just moments ago. Angels paused. Trumpets fell silent. And your soulmate's name was spoken beside yours, not in sorrow, not in judgment, but in divine alignment. Because finally, the truth about what they carry inside their heart is ready to be exposed. They've been hiding something, not out of cruelty, but out of confusion, fear, and timing. And while you've sensed something off, those late-night instincts, those sudden pulls, those moments of emotional storms, this is not your imagination. You were never crazy. Your soul already knew. You just needed confirmation. And now, Archangel Michael himself is delivering it to you before it's too late. My child, my beloved, the shocking part isn't that your soulmate loves you. That was never a question. The shocking part is why they've stayed away. What they saw. What they were told. What someone from their circle, yes, even someone you trust, did behind your back to keep them away. That truth has just been revealed in heaven. And let me be very clear, if you skip this moment, the intervention may not repeat. Not like this. You're being given divine access to a reality shift. A door is opening, yes, this very minute, and the ones who walk through will be guided into the next part of the story. But those who scroll past, they may continue to walk in the dark, wondering why everything feels stuck, why that person never reaches out, why the connection never seems to align. Don't do that to yourself. Don't choose confusion when clarity is right here. My child, my beloved, I was sent by the Most High to deliver this not in thunder or flames, but in quiet urgency. Because this isn't about fear, it's about timing. This person has come to a breaking point. They've seen a sign too. They've started to feel a pressure they can't explain. They're searching for something they don't even know how to describe, and that something is you. But if you don't open the door on your end, they will assume it was all in their head. They will suppress it. And the miracle that is right now hanging between you like a thread of gold, might snap under the weight of silence. But you were chosen to hear this. To receive this. To open your hands and say, God, I'm ready. My child, my beloved, I want to show you something, but I cannot show it if your heart is closed. There is a sacred scene unfolding right now in the spiritual world, and it involves your soulmate, your past life karma, and a divine rewriting of timelines. What you thought was lost forever is actually reawakening. The person you cried over, the one you waited for, the one you tried to forget, is closer now than ever before. Not just physically, but soulfully. Spiritually. They've entered a stage of awakening. They're remembering. They're being prepared to return. But if you don't spiritually allow this process, by receiving this message fully, then the restoration may pause again. And I promise, if you let that happen, you'll feel the ache return in a way even angels can't stop. My child, my beloved, you have asked heaven so many times, why did they leave? Why did it all happen this way? And now, the answer is being sent, not through signs you must guess, not through riddles, but in pure truth. This message is the answer. The reason it never made sense before is because heaven was still putting pieces in place. And now that everything is aligned, your heart, theirs, the timing, God is allowing this revelation to come through. But don't make the mistake of assuming you have time. You don't. Spirit works in windows, in moments. This is yours. Miss this, and you may wait another cycle. Another season. Another year. Or more. Please. I beg you, open your heart before this moment closes. My child, my beloved, your soulmate is carrying pain too. You are not the only one who cried. They've been fighting battles you were never allowed to see. Some of them were spiritual, ancestral karma, soul contracts, emotional blocks that go back generations. And some of them were very earthly, miscommunication, betrayal, fear, wrong advice from someone pretending to help. All of this has now come to the surface. Heaven saw it. God heard it. And now, Archangel Michael has been allowed to expose it to you. But if you walk away from this divine briefing, they may believe you never cared. They may believe they should give up. And you'll both carry the weight of almost for lifetimes to come. You were not born for almost. You were born for holy union. And that's what is standing in front of you right now. My child, my beloved, I see what's coming. And it's beautiful. But it will not wait forever. There's a sacred window of time where divine intervention is strongest, and you are inside that window right now. The veil is thin. The angels are near. And God is closer to you than your own breath. But this message is your action step. Your confirmation. Your call. And if you don't respond, the door will begin to close again. Slowly, gently, silently. And you'll wonder why things went cold again. Why the signs stopped. Why the connection faded. It won't be because it wasn't real, it will be because it wasn't received. You are being given what so many beg heaven for, a moment of clarity. A moment to change everything. A moment to say, yes, I'm ready. My child, my beloved, this is not just about romance. This is about divine mission. Your soulmate holds keys to parts of your destiny that you cannot activate alone. And you hold keys to theirs. That's why the connection has been so persistent. That's why no matter how far you run, their energy finds you. That's why you feel their presence in the middle of the night when no one else understands your tears. This is bigger than feelings. This is about purpose. And the moment you allow your heart to fully open to this sacred assignment, the miracles will begin to multiply. Doors will open. People will appear. Resources will come. Because heaven funds divine alignment. What you're stepping into is not just a love story. It's a life assignment. My child, my beloved, please don't walk away from this. I am not saying these words lightly. I've fought battles in the spiritual realm to clear this message so it could land softly in your hands today. There were forces that tried to block it. That tried to cloud your mind with distraction. That tried to make you scroll past without feeling. But heaven won. And you're still here. Reading. Feeling. Awakening. That means the miracle is still alive. The connection is still active. The shift is still possible. But only if you honor this moment. Only if you stop pretending you're not affected. You are. And that's okay. Because heaven is not asking you to be perfect. It's asking you to be willing. My child, my beloved, your soulmate may not have the language to say what they're feeling. They may still be trying to translate their emotions into something understandable. But don't mistake silence for absence. They are present in the spirit. They are listening to your soul. And right now, they're waiting. They're waiting for heaven to tell them what to do next. That's why I'm here. To guide not just them, but you. Because this story is about both of you. And it begins again when you say yes. My child, my beloved, there are conversations happening about you in the spirit realm that would bring you to your knees if you could hear them. Angels are saying your name. Heaven is preparing a table in your honor. And your soulmate, though unaware of the full picture, is being divinely guided back toward you. But I must be honest with you, this reunion is delicate. If either of you gives in to fear, if either of you listens to the wrong voice at the wrong time, the connection could close again. That's why this message had to reach you now. Not later. Not next week. now. Because the choice you make in this moment will decide whether this connection becomes a fulfilled promise or another painful almost. My child, my beloved, I see something strange but holy surrounding your name right now. It's a divine envelope. Inside it are the secrets you've asked heaven to reveal. Questions like, why did they leave? Were they lying? Is this love real? And, will we ever find each other again? Heaven has heard every one. And now, God is beginning to unseal that envelope, but only in your presence. Not behind your back. Not without you. Because your trust matters. Your consent matters. Your yes matters. And if you open your heart now, what was hidden will come to light, not to hurt you, but to heal you. The answers will not break you. They will set you free. If you are ready for truth, this message is your permission to receive it. My child, my beloved, you are not alone. Even if you feel like no one understands this kind of pain, even if your friends tell you to just move on, even if the world tries to convince you that this connection was never real, heaven knows the truth. And more than that, heaven is protecting this truth. That's why every attempt to forget them failed. That's why no one else ever quite fit in your heart the way they did. That's why, even after time and distance and silence, something inside you still believes. That belief is not foolish. It is prophetic. You are remembering a bond written in heaven, not just in time. You didn't make this up. You were made for this. My child, my beloved, lean in closer now, because what I am about to say has only been granted to a few. Your soulmate once asked God to take this connection away. Not because they didn't love you, but because they loved you too much and felt unworthy. They begged heaven to help them forget you, to release the feelings that overwhelmed them. And do you know what heaven did? Nothing. Because even God could not erase what God Himself had written. The connection remained. The feelings deepened. And the more they ran, the more lost they became. Until now. Until this message. Until this divine turning point. And now, you are being given access to that truth, not to judge them, but to understand just how deeply they feel. My child, my beloved, the world will never understand the weight of this connection. That's why you were never meant to consult the world about it. You were meant to consult heaven. And heaven is answering now. Through these words. Through my voice. Through the way your heart is responding to every sentence with recognition. This is divine confirmation. This is sacred alignment. This is the moment you prayed for and forgot you prayed for. And now that it's here, all that's required is your willingness to receive the miracle. That's it. You don't have to fix it. You don't have to chase anyone. You just have to open. Heaven will do the rest. My child, my beloved, your soulmate is carrying pain too. You are not the only one who cried. They've been fighting battles you were never allowed to see. Some of them were spiritual, ancestral karma, soul contracts, emotional blocks that go back generations. And some of them were very earthly, miscommunication, betrayal, fear, wrong advice from someone pretending to help. All of this has now come to the surface. Heaven saw it. God heard it. And now, Archangel Michael has been allowed to expose it to you. But if you walk away from this divine briefing, they may believe you never cared. They may believe they should give up. And you'll both carry the weight of almost for lifetimes to come. You were not born for almost. You were born for holy union. And that's what is standing in front of you right now. My child, my beloved, what you are about to understand could rewrite the way you see everything that has happened in your past relationships. I'm not only talking about this person, your soulmate, I'm talking about every heartbreak before them that left you questioning your worth, your purpose, and whether you'd ever be truly loved the way your spirit longs to be. But heaven sees the pattern. And now, for the first time, the reason for that pain is being revealed, not to punish you, but to free you. The truth about your soulmate isn't just about romance. It's about destiny. They are the gatekeeper to a chapter of your life that was paused until this message reached your heart. Do not scroll away now, because this moment was written into your life long before you were even born. My child, my beloved, your name was seen beside theirs in the Book of Alignment, a divine record that few have access to, even among angels. And yet I was given permission to open it. When I did, I wept. Because I saw how long you have waited. I saw the nights your tears soaked your pillow and the mornings you forced yourself to smile. I saw the confusion. The loneliness. The strength you used to pretend you were fine. But heaven does not forget. You are not invisible here. And this person, the one whose name is now shaking in the halls of heaven, has been spiritually tethered to you all this time. They never truly left. Their soul has circled back again and again, drawn to your light even when their eyes could not see you clearly. And now, something has happened. Something powerful enough to crack the veil. My child, my beloved, earlier today, yes, this very day, an angel was sent to your soulmate in a moment of silence. Maybe while they were driving. Or sitting alone. Or staring at a screen. And in that silence, they were shown your face. Not a memory, but a spiritual image. A flash. A knowing. And for the first time, the walls they've built around their hearts started to shake. They may not have told anyone. They may have brushed it off. But heaven didn't. Heaven recorded it. And when that moment happened, I was sent to prepare you. Because this is no longer a one-sided journey. The activation has begun. The chords of divine connection are reawakening. But if you do not step into this revelation now, you may never know what was about to bloom. My child, my beloved, you may be wondering, why now? Why is all of this happening suddenly? Because in the realm of the divine, there are no accidents. This is the hour that was written in prophecy. This is the moment your soul chose to experience before your feet ever touched this earth. The delay was not rejection. It was preparation. If you had met fully before, the connection may have burned too fast, or fallen apart under the weight of unhealed wounds. But now, the healing has taken root. The truth has begun to rise. And the storm that once kept you apart is finally calming. If you walk forward now, hand in hand with this divine message, you will see the impossible rearrange itself in your favor. My child, my beloved, I see something in your soulmate's life right now that you may not know. They are watching you in ways they cannot explain. Whether through spiritual signs, or real-world glimpses, they are searching for confirmation that what they feel is real. That you feel it too. But here's the warning: if you remain silent, if you ignore the pull, they may take your silence as disinterest. They may turn away, not out of pride, but out of protection. They have been hurt before too. And they're terrified of repeating the cycle. But you can end that fear, right now, by receiving this truth and allowing your heart to open without delay. The angels are watching. Heaven is recording your response. What you choose next will shape what opens, or what shuts. My child, my beloved, there's something else I must tell you, and it's not easy to say. A false voice has been whispering lies into your soulmate's ears. Someone around them, someone they once trusted, has planted seeds of confusion, doubt, even fear about you. This person saw your light and felt threatened by it. They told your soulmate things that weren't true. Things to make them question your heart. And it worked, for a while. That's why they pulled away. That's why they vanished. But that season is over now. Because heaven just exposed that voice. I saw it. I heard the angels report. And I was sent to cut through the lies and deliver this message to bring truth where confusion had taken root. You must know this so you stop blaming yourself. This was never your fault. My child, my beloved, let your soul rest for a moment in this: you were always enough. You were always the one. And everything you feared you lost is now being rewritten with light. You are not late. You are not forgotten. And you are not hard to love. You are simply chosen. And the chosen ones are often tested the hardest because their love carries a higher frequency, one that heals not just hearts, but generations. That is why your soulmate connection has felt so intense, so confusing, so divine. Because it was never just about the two of you. It was about the assignment your love carries. The ripple it will create in the world. The generations it will set free. And now, you are being asked to believe again. Even if it hurts. Even if it's scary. Because belief is the key that unlocks everything. My child, my beloved, let your soul rest for a moment in this: you were always enough. You were always the one. And everything you feared you lost is now being rewritten with light. You are not late. You are not forgotten. And you are not hard to love. You are simply chosen. And the chosen ones are often tested the hardest because their love carries a higher frequency, one that heals not just hearts, but generations. That is why your soulmate connection has felt so intense, so confusing, so divine. Because it was never just about the two of you. It was about the assignment your love carries. The ripple it will create in the world. The generations it will set free. And now, you are being asked to believe again. Even if it hurts. Even if it's scary. Because belief is the key that unlocks everything. My child, my beloved, I must also speak to what your soulmate is hiding right now. Yes, hiding. Because although their heart is starting to burn with truth, their mind is still fighting with logic. They are torn. On one side is the pull toward you, a spiritual hunger they cannot deny. On the other side is fear. Fear of rejection. Fear of not being good enough. Fear of opening the door and being too late. This inner war has kept them frozen. But heaven is intervening now. And this message is the breakthrough moment. The angels are whispering into their dreams. Archangel Raphael is working on their heart. And I, Michael, am standing in front of them with my sword of light, cutting through every fear, every lie, every past disappointment. But this healing will only complete if you say yes. If you respond with readiness. My child, my beloved, you've waited long enough. You've carried the ache long enough. And heaven has declared, it is time. Not next month. Not next year. Now. Because if this window is missed, the consequences will be heavier than you think. Not as punishment, but because divine alignment comes in sacred timing. You are in that timing now. If you don't believe me, look at the signs around you. The dreams. The synchronicities. The strange feelings that come and go without reason. These are not random. These are spiritual signals preparing you for this. The message you are reading now is the final sign. And what happens next is not fate. It is choice. Divine choice. Your choice. My child, my beloved, I can feel your spirit trembling. You are not imagining that something enormous is shifting. You've been sensing it for days now. The atmosphere around you has changed. Your emotions have been rising without warning. At times you feel deeply connected, then suddenly disconnected, unsure. That's not confusion. That's spiritual collision. Your energy field is colliding with the truth that has finally broken through heaven's barrier. What was once sealed is now open. But only for a moment. If you wait too long, it may be closed again, and this once-in-a-lifetime alignment could pass like a breeze through open fingers. That's why you must stay. Keep reading. Keep breathing. Heaven is not playing with your heart. It's rescuing it. My child, my beloved, this soulmate connection has passed through storms. Maybe you don't even know the full weight of what they went through to protect this connection in the spiritual realm. You think they walked away. But what if I told you they were pulled away? What if I told you they were spiritually attacked the moment they got too close to you? Because light always draws attack. And the light between you two is so bright it terrified the shadows. But they're finding their way back. And this time, they need your help. Not your silence. Not your fear. Your help. They're watching. Waiting. Hoping for a sign from you. And if you don't answer this divine nudge, they might assume you've moved on. That you've chosen someone else. And it will break them in ways I may not be allowed to heal. My child, my beloved, I want you to understand the weight of what's happening right now. Your soul isn't just being informed, it's being activated. That means this message carries more than words. It's coded. It's wrapped in spiritual keys, opening chambers within you that you forgot even existed. That's why you feel your heart racing. That's why your chest feels heavy and light at the same time. That's why memories are flashing through your mind like lightning. Because every line of this message is awakening something you sealed away for your own survival. But God says, enough. You don't have to survive anymore. You're being called to live. Fully. Emotionally. Spiritually. And love is a part of that plan. My child, my beloved, I must tell you this plainly, your soulmate has reached a breaking point. Something is about to happen in their life that will change everything. And you will be part of the ripple effect, whether you're ready or not. They may contact you. They may appear in a dream. They may suddenly show up in your physical world. Don't be shocked. Don't run. Don't push it away just because you've been hurt before. The pain of the past was never meant to make you numb. It was meant to shape your wisdom. And now, the wise version of you must rise. Because the door they're standing in front of will either be opened by your courage, or locked by your fear. And once it shuts, it won't be easy to open again. My child, my beloved, do not ask for another sign after this. This is the sign. This message was divinely orchestrated. It could have gone to anyone, but it came to you. The algorithm didn't send it. Heaven did. And if you skip this or brush it off like just another message, you'll regret it more than anything else in this season. Because God does not shout like the world. He speaks softly through the things we almost ignore. This was heaven's soft whisper, to you. Because your soulmate has finally remembered who you are. They are trembling as they write your name in their journal again. They are whispering prayers for a second chance they're too afraid to ask for directly. But they don't know that heaven already arranged this moment to reach you first. My child, my beloved, the world will never understand the weight of this connection. That's why you were never meant to consult the world about it. You were meant to consult heaven. And heaven is answering now. Through these words. Through my voice. Through the way your heart is responding to every sentence with recognition. This is divine confirmation. This is sacred alignment. This is the moment you prayed for and forgot you prayed for. And now that it's here, all that's required is your willingness to receive the miracle. That's it. You don't have to fix it. You don't have to chase anyone. You just have to open. Heaven will do the rest. My child, my beloved, this may be your final chance to hear the truth before everything shifts. There are forces trying even now to distract you, to pull your attention away from this message, to keep you from absorbing what could change your life. But you are stronger than distraction. You are wiser than fear. You are braver than your past. And heaven has trusted you with this message because you are ready. I wouldn't be here otherwise. God does not waste revelation. He sends it to those who are willing to carry it with humility and strength. And I see both in you. That's why I was sent. That's why your name was whispered in my ear. Because you are not average. You are anointed. And what's being revealed about your soulmate is only the beginning. My child, my beloved, what is happening now is not just about the present, it's about the past you never fully understood. There were moments you blamed yourself. You questioned everything. You wondered why this person drifted, why they didn't fight harder, why they acted like they never cared. But heaven saw it all. And I am here to tell you, they did care. They cared so deeply that it scared them. They loved you in silence when words failed. They visited your spirit when distance kept them away. They thought about you during the quietest hours, but the pain they carried told them they couldn't give you what you deserved. And that lie, the one that said they weren't enough, is the very lie heaven is destroying right now. My child, my beloved, I have drawn my sword not against your soulmate, but against the voices around them that poison their view of you. Someone who wore a mask of loyalty fed them doubt. Someone whose heart was heavy with envy whispered confusion into their path. That voice was heard in heaven. That deceit was recorded. And now it's being removed. What they told your soulmate is unraveling. Their influence is collapsing. And when that influence disappears, your person will see you clearly, maybe for the first time. They'll remember the softness in your voice, the light in your eyes, the comfort of your presence. And when that memory returns, so will the ache, but this time, not to destroy, it will pull them back to you like gravity. My child, my beloved, if you've ever felt like giving up on this connection, I understand. You've been tested beyond your limits. And every time you tried to move on, the universe whispered their name again. It wasn't madness, it was guidance. It wasn't obsession, it was recognition. You were never wrong about this person. What you felt was real. And heaven is confirming it now because the moment of truth is approaching. A divine confrontation is coming. Not in chaos, but in revelation. You will hear something soon. Someone will say something, or you'll see something, that confirms what you're reading now. When that moment happens, do not deny it. Do not downplay it. It will be the sign that everything written here was aligned by heaven for you. My child, my beloved, you've always known you were different. You've always felt deeper than others. You've always carried a kind of spiritual sensitivity that people either admired or misunderstood. That gift, your deep feeling, is not a flaw. It is why you were chosen for this connection. Because only a soul like yours could hold space for a love this rare. Only someone with your patience, your strength, your purity, could carry this frequency. Don't let the world tell you that you're too much. Don't let your past convince you that you're hard to love. You are a spiritual portal. And when your soulmate looks into your eyes again, they will finally see the divine reflection they've been searching for all their life. They won't be able to look away this time. My child, my beloved, there's a reason I keep whispering, now. 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 Because something sacred is scheduled to happen. I see it on heaven's calendar. A divine appointment. A time where their heart will soften at the exact moment yours is ready. But if you close off now, that moment may miss you. And you'll spend the next season wondering what could have been. I don't want that for you. You've waited too long, endured too much, loved too silently to miss the reward that's coming. This is your turning point. This is your invitation. And if you say yes, if you let heaven finish what it started, you will witness the impossible bend in your favor. My child, my beloved, the next time you see their name, the next time you hear their voice in your memory, the next time you feel the pull of their spirit touching yours from afar, know this: it's not random. It's not leftover emotion. It's active connection. Heaven is speaking to both of you. And though they may not be brave enough to admit it yet, they feel you. Right now. As you're reading these words, they're being stirred awake by the same divine current flowing through you. And what happens next depends on whether you open your heart just a little wider, just a little longer, just long enough for them to recognize that the door to your love has not closed, it's only been waiting. My child, my beloved, I want you to know that the heaviness you've been feeling lately isn't just from your own heart. You are carrying emotions that don't belong to you. You are feeling the spiritual weight of your soulmate's pain, their regrets, their longing, their sleepless nights. You've been absorbing their confusion as if it were your own. That's the depth of your spiritual bond. That's why you suddenly feel low, out of nowhere. That's why you wake up from dreams that feel too real to ignore. Because they are real. You are connected by something heaven sealed long ago. And even when they go silent, the bond does not. Their soul keeps reaching out to you. And now, heaven is asking, will you answer? My child, my beloved, do not ask for another sign after this. This is the sign. This message was divinely orchestrated. It could have gone to anyone, but it came to you. The algorithm didn't send it. Heaven did. And if you skip this or brush it off like just another message, you'll regret it more than anything else in this season. Because God does not shout like the world. He speaks softly through the things we almost ignore. This was heaven's soft whisper, to you. Because your soulmate has finally remembered who you are. They are trembling as they write your name in their journal again. They are whispering prayers for a second chance they're too afraid to ask for directly. But they don't know that heaven already arranged this moment to reach you first. My child, my beloved, do not let the enemy confuse you. The voice that says, "This is just coincidence," is the same voice that kept you in cycles for years. The voice that says, "You'll be fine without this," is the same voice that whispered lies to your soulmate, making them believe they were unworthy of your love. This is war. A spiritual war for your union. And you're winning just by staying here. Just by listening. But don't stop now. Keep moving forward. Because with every word, a chain breaks. A lie is exposed. A door opens. And soon, your soulmate will feel it too. They'll awaken more deeply. They'll be guided back into your space. And when they do, they'll speak words they never had the courage to say before. Words like, "I knew it was you. I always knew." My child, my beloved, what they feel for you is real. They just didn't know how to protect it. They made mistakes. So did you. But love isn't about perfection. It's about recognition. And in heaven's eyes, your souls have already recognized each other long ago. That's why the connection never died. That's why no one else ever truly replaced them in your heart. And now, as you sit here holding this divine moment in your hands, you must decide, Will you walk away from something so sacred just because you don't understand how it will unfold? Or will you trust that heaven does? That I, Archangel Michael, was sent here not to play with your heart, but to protect it, to prepare it, to point it home. My child, my beloved, this is the moment. Heaven has paused many other messages just to make this one shine brighter. All of heaven's attention is on you. Because what happens next will not just change your relationship, it will change your destiny. And if you say yes with your spirit, even silently, the angels will rush into motion. Your soulmate will feel it like a shockwave in their soul. They may not know why, but they'll reach for their phone. Or cry without knowing what's come over them. Or feel an overwhelming urge to come back to you. That's the vibration we're creating right now. This is the miracle. Don't delay it. Don't miss it. Stay open. Stay present. Heaven is not done yet. And neither is your love story. My child, my beloved, I must tell you something few are ever allowed to hear. The angels are not just watching over your story, they are actively rearranging people, timing, and emotions around you to make space for what heaven has prepared. But everything depends on your response. If your spirit remains closed, if you let doubt win, if you scroll away and choose the noise of the world instead of this moment of silence and divine truth, those arrangements will stop. Not out of anger. Not out of punishment. But because the universe cannot force what your heart won't receive. Your soulmate is more open than they've ever been. And they are watching for a signal from you. A whisper. A sign. A willingness. And this message is that bridge. You are holding the key in your hands. Don't throw it away. My child, my beloved, let your soul feel this fully. Don't numb it. Don't try to logic your way out of what your spirit knows is true. That aching you feel in your chest right now, that trembling in your belly, that sudden memory of them that just popped into your head, it's all connected. You are in the middle of a divine visitation. And your soulmate is on the other side of the veil, feeling the pull too. They don't know what's happening, but they feel the magnetic shift. They feel the urgency. They feel a longing that goes deeper than anything they've felt before. They don't know you're reading this right now. But their spirit does. And soon, their body will follow. That's how heaven works. Spirit leads. Flesh follows. And your time has come. My child, my beloved, I want to reveal a secret now that will help you understand the silence between you and your soulmate. There was never an absence. There was a divine protection. Sometimes God hides you from the one you love, not to keep you apart, but to shield both of you from harm while healing is taking place. That's what happened here. The silence wasn't rejection. It was a holy pause. Because had you connected prematurely, both of you would have repeated patterns that would have destroyed what God wanted to preserve. Now the healing is nearly complete. And heaven is ready to restart the connection, but only if your heart is ready to receive them as they are now, not as they were then. This is not about the old version of them. This is about the evolved version that's being awakened now because you are finally strong enough to meet them again. My child, my beloved, I see what's coming. And it's beautiful. But it will not wait forever. There's a sacred window of time where divine intervention is strongest, and you are inside that window right now. The veil is thin. The angels are near. And God is closer to you than your own breath. But this message is your action step. Your confirmation. Your call. And if you don't respond, the door will begin to close again. Slowly, gently, silently. And you'll wonder why things went cold again. Why the signs stopped. Why the connection faded. It won't be because it wasn't real, it will be because it wasn't received. You are being given what so many beg heaven for, a moment of clarity. A moment to change everything. A moment to say, yes, I'm ready.